Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel. Reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Today, we are discussing a 2015 limited edition of 100 pieces, possibly the most interesting modern watch from Sinn. This is the model 1800 S Damaszener, a timepiece 43mm in hard black coated tegmented Damascus style steel. It's a case entirely of Sinn's construction at their own case manufacturer, SUG, but it is so much more. Let's talk about the basic fit. Now, it's a 43mm watch, but it's also extraordinarily thin for a Sinn at 10.1mm thick. It's 50.3mm lug-to-lug with a broad 22mm spacing between the lugs. Now throw it on the wrist, and you can see my wrist 16 centimeters in circumference, wears it very well. Comfortable, flat, easily fit underneath a cuff of any kind. The timepiece also has a lovely all-black aesthetic that wears well with a suit and contrasts beautifully with white cuffs. On my wrist, you can see the watch is more broad than large, as it's wafer thin and nicely shaped at its ends with short, tightly cropped lugs. So if you have a wrist as small as about 14.5 centimeters circumference, you're going to wear this one well. A quick look at the hardware and the software. One lesson I learned with my own EZM11 is that Sinn straps tend to be remarkably buttery and soft. For a company known for hardcore watches, the straps themselves feel remarkably refined, tender, and already broken in, even when they are brand new. As you can see, this is a brand new Sinn factory strap in calfskin with a red binding and a sheer cut profile. It feels as buttery as a catcher's mitt broken in by seasons of use. There's a simple high polished Sinn pin buckle, and as we get to the case profile, you can see it's relatively simple, but it's ennobled by the use of this Damascus steel, which is created, at least in Sinn's manufacture, by repeatedly folding the steel over and over and over to create this grain and these familiar Damascus style patterns. Now, of course, this evokes the medieval Damascus style steel, the construction of which is not exactly known, and in modern days, this folded method, which is laborious and time-consuming, has been the closest thing we have to recreating those Damascus patterns. So there's a grain, there are folds, there are ridges and ruffles, and the composition of the case is important. It's steel, but it's Sinn tegmented steel, which means that it is a carbon-diffused steel that is extraordinarily hard, about 1,200 Vickers on its surface. Sinn then uses a black coating, which is over 1,800 Vickers in hardness, and this avoids the eggshell phenomenon you find on conventional black DLC watches, where a soft steel sits underneath unyielding hard black coating. Because there is tegment underneath, it prevents the base metal from indenting or collapsing underneath the hard coating. As a result, it's almost indestructible in that it's remarkably resilient against scratches and swirls, while the metal underneath is equally resilient to prevent that eggshell phenomenon. You can see there's a screw-down crown, 100-meter water resistance, and what really sets this watch apart isn't just the Damascus patterns, it is the fact that the case, as well as the dial, are forged in a single piece, so the grains and the flowing patterns continue unbroken from the flanks of the case across the dial. Again, all one piece. Rather than printed feature on the dial, we have blackened applique. I'll remove that little piece of glue right there. And blackened hands. We also have a date down at 6 o'clock that crops the index at 6. You can see that the Sinn and Damaszener nomenclature have been appliqué rather than printed. And then we have an ETA 2892 A2 inside this limited edition of 100 pieces. So the watch being 100 meters water resistant, automatic winding, and plenty of lume means that it is a sports watch through and through, but it's a bit more elegant, certainly thinner and more versatile than your standard Sinn. The movement inside is an ETA 2892A2 in top grade, 42-hour power reserve, automatic winding, stop seconds, and a quick set date, 21 joules. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. This is a timepiece that is remarkably resilient externally, laborious to create, and featuring Sinn's own case construction, more manufacture than your standard Sinn watch of the past. A timepiece that is also exceptionally rare and coveted by Sinn collectors. This is a German-made watch from Frankfurt that is distinctly different, not just from other watches, but from other German-made watches, the vast majority of which reflect Glashütte influence. This watch and this brand are happy to be their own thing. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the Sinn 1800S.